Hi everyone, today I'm off to do something pretty exciting, something I've been wanting to do for quite a long time, and that's make a video about all the fruits and vegetables that you can find in Colombia. I've never seen so many fruits and vegetables in any other country in the world, so this is going to be really interesting. I'm off to a place called La Minorista, which is a massive fruit and vegetable market here in Medellin, which is open to the general public. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is going to be really fun.
Plaza Minorista, or Retail Plaza in English, is one of Medellin's biggest and best marketplaces, and it's open to the general public almost every single day of the year. Inside the main building you'll find a massive multi-level fruit and vegetable market which sells almost every exotic fruit and vegetable you can imagine, all at incredibly low prices. In the other nearby buildings you can also buy clothing, shoes, pet products, home appliances and much more.
I just bought this avocado. It's about the size of a football, at least a kilo I'd say, and it cost 8,000 Colombian pesos, which is about $2 American, just a little over $2 American. Look at the size of that, it's incredible.
In this video, I'm going to show you the incredible variety of exotic fruits and vegetables of Colombia, many of which are native to this country and to South America. And later on, I'm going to do a taste test of all of the fruits and teach you more about them. So make sure you stick around right to the end of the video.
This is called panela, which is a natural sugar, unprocessed. It's in big blocks. It's actually really nice in coffee.
These are all herbs and spices, many of which I'd never even seen before I'd come to Colombia. I headed down to the lower level in search of some of my favorite fruits, which I'm going to show you very shortly.
Muchas gracias. My favorite fruit, granadilla, or sweet passion fruit in English. I'm gonna buy a few. These fruits are really delicious. They're like passion fruit on the inside, very soft shell, which I already broke, and they taste like passion fruit but sweet. 3,000 Colombian pesos, that's less than $1 US, about 80 or 90 cents.
As you are looking at the prices here, keep in mind at the time of publishing this video, $1 US is equal to approximately 4,000 Colombian pesos, and the word libras that you see on the fruits means pounds in English. So with a quick calculation, you can see exactly how cheap the fruits and vegetables are in this market.
So I spent about an hour and a half in there, and spent only about 10 to 15 US dollars, I think. And I have 2 huge bags of shopping, which I'll show you what I bought when I get home. So a great place to get some really cheap fruit and vegetables. It's amazing, but very crowded, so maybe avoid the weekends if possible. Okay, let's go home and I'll show you what I bought. Okay, so now it's actually the next day and I'm back home, and on the way home I actually picked up a couple of extra things. Now what you see in front of me is what I bought yesterday at the market, with the exception of this, which is called a guanábana, which is a sour sop in English. I'll explain that a little later. Also, I got borojo, which is another fruit I'm going to explain to you in a moment, and curuba, which is called banana passion fruit in English. So I'm going to explain the flavors of all these fruits and the prices of them, which I think are unbelievable in this country. So one by one, let's begin. Alright, first up we have a fruit called uchuva, which I bought at the markets yesterday. These little orangey yellow color fruit. These are really interesting because they're not, it's a flavor I can't really describe. It's like, oops. They're a flavor I can't really describe. They're like, it's a little bit like an orange flavor, but very mild, but quite acidic, but really interesting. I think you'd really enjoy them if you try them, if you like citrus fruits. If you cut them open, you can see on the inside that they have tiny little seeds on the inside, but really delicious and one of my favorite fruits here in Colombia. Again, acidic. Maybe you'd probably just want to eat a few of them, but that would be enough, but they are really good. Next up, something that is not really so exotic and not really unique to Colombia, they're everywhere, strawberries, but the reason I included this in this video today is the price of them. I bought 2 pounds, which is 900 grams, and I paid a little over $1 US, probably about $1.10 or $1.20 US with the current exchange rate. And these strawberries, perhaps that one's not the ripest. But pretty good strawberries, yeah. Some of them are a little squashed, but in general they're actually really good. Okay, coming up next, the curuba, or the banana passion fruit. And if you've never seen one of these, yeah, well, I've never seen them either. This is a fruit that I've only ever seen here in Colombia. I don't know what country they are native to. I presume they're native to Colombia, but I don't know if they're easy to get in many other countries. Let me know if you can get them in your country. But this one is, as they say, a banana passion fruit, because when you open it up, it contains all the seeds inside, and it kind of looks like a passion fruit, right? But the problem with this fruit, as I've been told, is that the flavor is quite intense, quite strong, and not really as nice as a passion fruit. So you wouldn't eat it by itself. What I was told with this fruit in particular is that you should always mix it into a smoothie with either a little milk or water, sugar if you like, and eat it that way, but not like I'm about to do, which is probably really wrong. Not bad. Just, I don't know if it's this one in particular, but it's not actually, doesn't have much flavor at all. It's not very strong, not acidic like I expected. It's okay. But yeah, not as nice as a passion fruit, definitely, and not really that nice to eat by itself. Okay, coming up next. The next one coming up is one that I'm not really all that excited about because I don't really like tomato juice. Love tomatoes, but not really tomato juice. This one is called the tomate de árbol, or the tree tomato in English. A lot of people drink this as a juice, and I've had it before, but as I said, I'm not really a fan of tomato juice, but let's have a look at it. I'm gonna cut it open so you can see what it looks like on the inside. It looks kind of like a tomato, yeah. As for the flavor, well, again, this is something that you should actually have as a juice, not eat by itself. But anyway, it's actually not too bad this time. It tastes like a tomato, but it also has kind of a fleshier texture, kind of like a mango. Maybe not like a mango, but it's actually quite nice. This is actually better than I expected. I don't think you're supposed to eat them like this, but I do like it. Yeah, I could eat this. This is good. I'm surprised. The next one is these little purple grapes, which I have several bunches of right here. These ones, which are called Isabella. I haven't eaten these before, but I can imagine. I'm not the biggest fan of grapes, but let's see what they're like. They have seeds, but it's actually really nice. I don't know how to describe them to you, but a little bit like red wine perhaps. But I can imagine they actually are better as red wine. But they're pretty good. Again, about 250, 300 grams, costs about 70 US cents. Really, really cheap, really good quality, very delicious. I like them. Next up is one of my favorite fruits in Colombia, and I'm so surprised that this fruit is not available worldwide because I absolutely love it. I think it's delicious. It's actually called the lulo, and it's another citrus fruit, but it's a little strange. It's not quite the same flavor as an orange. It's a little more bitter by itself, and you're not supposed to eat it like this, like I'm about to do. It's actually really popular in Colombia in a smoothie, either with a little sugar or without. Some people even mix it with milk, which is a little strange, but I've always had it in just water and sometimes maybe a little stevia or by itself, and I think it's just amazing. It's just a little acidic, kind of like an orange flavor, but not quite. But let's have a look on the inside. I think it's a really interesting fruit. Amazing, right? Now, as I said, if you do come to Colombia or another country that has this fruit, don't do what I'm doing. This is not the way you're supposed to eat it. But to give you an idea of what it's like, I really love it. I don't know what it is about this fruit, but I really, really, really love it. Some people don't because it's acidic, but it does have a lot of small seeds in it. But I'm actually going to turn the rest of them into a juice later, and you'll see what it's like. You just have to chop them up, put them in a blender, add some ice, add some sugar or stevia or something like that, and that's it. You can add milk if you want to. I love this fruit. Okay, another one of my all-time favorite fruits, not native, or I don't believe it's native to Latin America, but I've seen this fruit in Thailand before, a very different color. I've seen it in red. This is the dragon fruit in English, or the pitaya in Spanish. And this one is yellow, which seems to be the most common one to find here in Colombia. In most of the markets I see it yellow. I haven't actually seen the red one, but the red one seems to be available in Asia. I don't know why, maybe different climates grow different colors, I really don't know. But this is one of my favorite fruits, and it's amazing. It's really sweet, delicious. Let's have a look at why I enjoy it so much. Okay, so here we have the two halves of a dragon fruit. This is what they look like on the outside up close. And for this one, I'm just going to cut it and eat it straight from the skin. It's so delicious. So amazing. This fruit, I love this fruit since I first tried it. I remember when I was younger, I'd never seen this fruit before. The first time I ever saw it was in Thailand around 2006. the red fruit, and I just loved it. And then I haven't lived in Australia now for about 10 years, but the last time when I was living in Australia, I did see these starting to be more commonly available in the supermarkets. They're really, really good. I love them so much. Delicious, sweet, refreshing, amazing. Love it. The most common fruits in Colombia, and no wonder why, these grow everywhere that is tropical and warm. The famous mango, and this one is called a Tommy mango, so it's kind of one of the smaller, sweeter kind of mangoes. I believe Tommy is the name, please correct me if I'm wrong. This one is one of the smaller ones. Obviously in Colombia you can get some very big ones that are like almost the size of a football, but this one is the medium size and I believe quite sweet. One of my other favorite things in this country is the green mango, which is actually very, very different. It's not sweet and soft like this kind of mango. It's actually kind of crunchy, and it's served with lemon juice and a sprinkle of salt, and it's amazing. You can find it in the streets in Medellin and in many other cities. It's really, really popular. And let's see what it's like. I just have small slices like this. That is a delicious mango. That is really, really good. It's exactly like, tastes just like the mango juice I used to drink when I was at school when I was younger. So delicious. Amazing. Okay, so we're down to the last few fruits, and now we have, which you might not even recognize. Definitely I wouldn't recognize this if I saw it in Australia. This is actually a passion fruit called maracuja in Spanish in Colombia, and it's kind of like the passion fruit that we have in my country, but this one is more tart or more acidic. It's quite a strong flavor, but let's have a look at the inside. There's a lot of skin, and I find sometimes I've bought these before and it was like all skin and no fruit on the inside. But this one is not too bad. It is quite acidic, but I do think it's delicious. That is definitely a very, very tart flavor, but it's really nice. I really like it. Maybe you will, maybe you might find it a little too acidic. If so, you can probably mix it with some other kind of fruit. It would be good to cook with it because it has a strong, intense flavor. I think it's delicious. Maracuja or passion fruit in English. Okay, we have 3 fruits left. Fruit is probably my #1 favorite in all of Colombia. This one is called the granadilla. In English, I think it's called the sweet passion fruit from memory. It's similar to a passion fruit, but not exactly. The #1 difference, you'll probably see the shell is very soft, so you can break it with your hands and you can rip it open if you want to and make a big mess of it, as I just did. But on the inside, you'll see all the seeds. Now, they really, really are delicious. It's like after just eating that passion fruit, which was quite intense, this one is actually very, very sweet. It's really delicious. I think this fruit is amazing. It's another one of those fruits that I just wonder why it is not available worldwide. You know, I think it should be as famous as the apple and the pear and the peach. It is amazing. It is so delicious, so easy to eat. Don't need a knife to open it. Don't need a spoon to eat it. Amazing, amazing. Next up, we have another fruit which is native to Colombia called borojo. And apparently, I've been told many times, this is an aphrodisiac. I won't let you know if that's true. But this is quite delicious. I've tried it one time in a drink. I don't think you're supposed to eat it as it is. If there's any Colombians out there watching, please let me know. But I know you can serve it in a drink, and from memory. It was actually really delicious. So what I've decided I'm going to do later with all this fruit, which is cut open, obviously I don't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to slice it all up and just chuck it all in together into a drink and into a blender, sorry, and make a kind of a really crazy fruit blend of some sort. And I'm going to include some borojo. And one thing, unfortunately today, this massive avocado, which I bought at the market, is not ripe, but hold on, because I'm going to actually film this again in a couple of days when it's fresh, and I'm going to add it to the end of this video. I have this one which isn't ready, and also another one with a very beautiful name in English called the soursop. Really appetizing name, called the guanábana in Spanish. This one is actually really nice. I really do like it. It's got a fleshy white fruit on the inside and big black seeds. But if you take out the seeds and again, it's one of those fruits that you make into a drink. Not many people eat it by itself, although you can do, of course. But the way I've had it in the past is blended with some milk or with water and a little sugar or stevia or something like that. And it's actually really, really delicious. I think you'd enjoy that one, called the soursop in English. And those two are almost ripe, maybe another 2 days until they're ready. But as soon as they are, I will be adding that clip to the end of this video. So stick around to the end. And for now, I'm gonna put these and also this papaya, which everybody's seen a papaya before, but if you wanna see the color on the inside, this one is a nice orangey color. Looks pretty good, nice and fresh. So I'm gonna put that into the blender as well and create some kind of interesting new creation of juice. So stick around, I'm gonna show you that in a moment. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit crazy, a little stupid, and I don't recommend doing this. I'm just gonna chuck in a little bit of everything and make a drink out of it, make it a smoothie. So starting with the lulo, which was the fruit which kind of, I said, is kind of like an orange, but with a greeny color on the inside. So I'm gonna put that in. Then I'm gonna add some of this really, really, really delicious mango. Next up, I'm gonna add some of the dragon fruit. I think that popped into my head and I'm probably gonna regret it. But next up, we're gonna add some of the papaya. Now this is my little horror mix of every fruit that I tried today, with the borojo paste on the top. I'm just gonna add some water and some stevia, and that's all. And then I'll let you know how it tastes. So I've just mixed all of those fruits together and I've ended up with this strange color drink, this strange pink color. Let's see how it tastes. I'm so confused. It's actually really nice. And to all the Colombian viewers out there again, I'm sorry. You must have been sitting there thinking, what is he doing to our fruit? Sorry, I was just having a bit of fun. I know you shouldn't probably eat borojo by itself and you should probably not mix any of these together, but it's been a fun experiment. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so now it's 3 days since I bought the fruit and finally it's ripe. And I'm going to start with the guanábana, or the soursop in English. As you can see, it's kind of changed color a little. It's now darker. I don't know if you remember, it was a greener color than this when I first bought it, which means it wasn't ripe. I'm just going to cut it open kind of roughly so you can have a look on the inside of it. It was easier than I expected. On the inside, it's kind of a soft fruit with a lot of seeds on the inside. And what I'm going to do after this video is actually I'm going to cut this up and put it into the blender, and I'm just going to drink it with water and sugar, but with stevia. But you can mix it with milk, which is really popular here in Colombia. So I wanted to show you that one first. That will be my drink this afternoon. And finally, the football. Or the giant avocado that I bought on Saturday. Now is Tuesday, by the way. So let's have a look. I'm going to cut this baby open. It got a little, I think it's a little bruised on the backside, so I'm going to try to cut it straight down the center. And ooh, she's nice and soft. Perfect. Look at that. As I suspected, it's a little bruised on this one, but I'm sure this side is going to be perfectly fine to eat, and most of this one anyway. But isn't that amazing? That is so beautiful. And I'm just going to cut a little bit from the center to see how soft it is. That bit was a little kind of dry and chalky, but this one is absolutely perfect. It's silky smooth, it is nice and soft, it's perfectly ripe. Amazing. Wow, that concludes my my little fruit adventure, my little adventure experimenting with all these fruits and trying some new ones. That was really fun. So if you have any suggestions for a future video, please leave a comment below and I'll try to find the fruit and make another video about this. Colombia has hundreds of types of fruits, so what I've shown you is only a small selection, but that leaves room for many more videos. Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe if you like this video, leave a comment, and I'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye bye. Oops.